Hello, this is Michael from Evergreen Memories, and I am coming to you today to show you one of our thin cut products that we have and how you can use it to make some very fun cards. So, first of all, I'm going to show you the thin cuts we have. These are called the border thin cuts, and hopefully you can see them. There's a floral border, a stitched scallop. These two are different. This is like a slant stitch and a cross stitch, and this is a double stitch. This one makes a notebook edge and a fringe edge, a leaf strip, and this is a pull tab. And then the final one that's in here, which I have some washi tape on, and hopefully you can see, is this large scallop. Now, I was inspired by a sister consultant. She did a couple of cards, in addition to some other cards that people have done, to use this a little bit more. I haven't really used it as much out of the set as I have used the others. So I put together a couple of cards, and I want to show those to you today, and then show you how I created with this thin cut border. So here's the first card. Margie Gilbertson is the close to my heart sister that created a card that inspired this. I did a little bit of changing it up, but not too much because it's just beautiful. And you can see this is the scalloped thin cut, and then I've got a border behind it of a sugar plum thin cut scallop, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Before I do that, let me just tell you a little bit about the product that I've got here on my desk in this card. So first of all, this paper that's here is our Feels Like Home paper set, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the different print and papers that are on this. I just love these peonies, and there's the sugar plum color. Let me flip that over, and you can see the other side. There's a shiplap. I love, love, love this. It reminds me of a bathroom tile in a restaurant in our town that I love. This one, the polka dots, and then a nice gray plaid. So this is the Feels Like Home paper set. It'll only be available through April 30th or while supplies last. And I would say this has probably been the favorite paper pack out of this catalog. So if you're interested, you should purchase it sooner rather than later because it may run out before the end of the month. And then finally, I wanted to show you the April stamp of the month. It is called Love So Sweet, and it's a beautiful stamp set with great sentiments. Butterfly, 3 different butterfly icons, 3 different floral icons, these great leafy texture. You can see I use that here. This is second generation charcoal. The thanks sentiment, which I used on there, you can see the 2 butterflies that I created with that. So this is a lovely stamp set. It is $18.95, only available in April of 2019, or it's $5 with a $50 purchase. So if you're interested, take a look at my website, which is here, mraleigh.ctmh.com, and you can see that stamp set. So let me show you the easiest way to get this scallop border doubled. So first of all, what I did was I took the scallop, and this was a 3 by 5.25, no, 5.5 inch piece of paper, and I took it and I laid the scallop border, so it was kind of going off the edge here, you can see that, and I just used some washi tape like this and ran it through my Cuttlebug. Now after that is done, I want to create this border. Now if you're really good and steady, you could just cut this, right? But you wouldn't be able to get this extra little stitched piece there without a lot of extra work. So what I recommend that you do is I used my adhesive and I just put it on the scallop parts here of my paper, and I put this so it is aligned top to bottom and gives me a little bit of room. Then I took my scalloped border and I did my best to butt it right up against that scallop that's there. Now it's not going to be perfectly matched. You can see here. So what I did then is I used a piece of washi tape, and you can use that. That gives you some stability in your design as you run it, or your paper as you run it through the Cuttlebug, but it keeps it in place so you know you're going to get that design. So I ran that through my Cuttlebug, and what comes out is, let me show you, these are glued together, but you will see when it comes out, they're pretty far apart, because even though I've moved that thin cut right up to the edge, it creates a pretty wide border. So then I loosen my adhesive and I rematch this up. Probably gonna be better to do it this way. I rematch this up here and get it as close as I can to that second stitch on the sugar plum, and then adhere that down. And now I have that nice even, probably, what is that, a 1/4 of an inch border? It might be actually a little bit smaller. And then you can see on the card I stamped the border stamp from this Stamp of the Month. Before I adhered it to this card, I second generation this leaf pattern in the charcoal ink to create a background there, and then added my 2 stamped butterflies with a little bit of sugar plum shimmer pen on there. I hope you can see that in the light. I love this silver embossing thread. You can twirl it around and put it behind an element, and it just gives a really delicate touch. And then I added some silver glitter gems and the thanks. And thank you, Margie, for a beautiful inspiration on this card. Now let me show you a couple of other cards that I've done with this same. This is the same card, basically, also inspired by Margie. And I did this, but I did it the opposite way. So it kind of comes in and there's not as much of an angle on here. And then added this one as a monochromatic color. This is Pixie Ballerina. And then you can see a light bit of the ballerina, again, random stamped on the background of the card. This here and here are also from the Stamp of the Month. There's that little butterfly again, and You're My Favorite, also from the Stamp of the Month. And this is kind of how this looked when I ran it through the Cuttlebug with the die. And the pattern that I used, or the flowers that I used, is called the Peony, Budding Peony. And this set is also in our current idea book, which will be retiring at the end of April 2019. And I love, love, love this set because the flower is just a really nice botanical look to it. And there's a lot of very fun and easy to use sayings here. I chose to use a saying from a different stamp set, but you've got hello, friend, and then you can make I adore you, I love you, thank you, I appreciate you. And these, you can see I've used it a lot. This one is over on the desk waiting to be washed. Finally, I wanted to show you one more card. This time I used the stitched scallop die cut again, and I created a grassy slope on my card for this one. There's just so many fun things that you can do with this large scallop, and so many different ways that you can layer it and use it in your card making and your scrapbooking. So that's another card that I wanted to show you. Now remember, these are the border thin cuts. They're item number Z4241, and There are 10, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then if you count this one, there are 10. Now, I can't remember the price point right now. It's somewhere around $45. But if you're a hostess with Close to My Heart and you have a party at the second level, $250, you can get that for half price, which is such a great deal. If you need information about being a hostess or joining my hostess club so that you can get rewards like that, please feel free to message me. Thanks for stopping by today.